Pujamulam Guroh Padam Mantramulam Gururvaksham Mokshamulam Guru Kripa. Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Krishna Bhagavan ki jai, Gita Mata ki jai. Hari Om. Thank you. So we are in second chapter Gita, and we are discussing on yoga. Lord Krishna gives the definition of yoga, that is evenness of mind is called yoga. Evenness of mind is called yoga. Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjay Siddhya Siddho Samo Bhutva Samattam Yoga Uchyate. Evenness of mind, that is yoga, that is also samadhi, that is also attainment of the highest truth. Every way we can take it, the equilibrium, state of equilibrium, that is the state of absolute truth, that is beyond everything, that is also called yoga, union or oneness, or the absolute one without a second, and that is also called, whatever you say, all the words have got only one meaning, that is that. And when it is expressed in many ways. Vedas say, Ekaha Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti. The truth is one. When it is expressed, the different exponents, different definers, they state it, explain it, express it in different ways, because language differs and your expression also differs. That is in the state of relativity, changing phenomena, that is called nature or supreme power or maya or creative power or anything you may call it. It comes under relativity, dualism, pairs of opposites. And Lord Krishna again and again emphasizes upon the point, go beyond all these pairs of opposites. Sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. He explained it before. And now he also is telling, siddha siddho samo bhutva, samo bhutva, being established in the yoga and not being disturbed by your defeat or win. Go on doing your duty, that means perform your duty what is given to you, and have no attachment, be established in the evenness of mind. And then what happens? When your mind is steadied, then you have gone beyond the pairs of opposites. So you don't have attachment, so you don't have bondage. You need not worry of all these, because when you hear the words of Vedas, it describes everything. It gives everything. Mostly two-sided. Everything is two-sided. So opposites will be there. Whatever is told by Vedas, the authentic text, whatever it says, Veda means knowledge. All the knowledge is there. We have seen two kinds of knowledge. One is informative, and that is subject to change. Other is not informative, but experiential, that never changes. That is called samatvam. That is the evenness of mind. And that is also the state of wisdom. So he further says, Durena hyavaram karmam buddhi yoga yoga dhananjaya buddhau saranamanyucha kripanaha phalahetabaha. That also we discussed a little yesterday. Far lower than the yoga of wisdom, that means steadfastness, is action. Action is very inferior. O Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, seek thou refuge in wisdom. Wisdom here is samatvam, yogam. Same thing is known as wisdom. Wretched are they whose motive is the fruit. They are little-minded people who wish for the little things, that is temporary, transitory happiness in the heaven. They admire the karma kanda of Vedas. Veda gives both the ways. Janacham tena gamyatam. Nobody compels you to do anything. It is your choice. You have got the freedom. So he says, action done with evenness of mind is yoga of wisdom. Wisdom means one-pointed decision. That is called wisdom. Now you have decided something and afterwards you change it. Will it be called as wisdom or decision, judgment? Nothing. One and unchangeable one decision. That decision is nothing but steadfastness of mind. So the yoga who is established, yogi who is established in the yoga of wisdom, is not affected by success or failure. Previously he has told siddhi or asiddhi, success or failure, you will go beyond it, which is under the pairs of opposites. You are beyond it, so your mind is established on one-pointedness. There, all these are overlooked. It is looked down. So, hankering for the result of the actions is miserliness of your mind, is limited mind. Who he does not seek fruits of his actions. Who? A person of wisdom. Action performed by the by one who expects the fruits for his actions is far inferior to the yoga of wisdom, wherein the seeker does not seek fruits, because the farmer leads to bondage and is cause of birth and death. When dualism starts, when movement in the action starts, that means movement is seen in the state of equilibrium. That means you are gone case. So, take refuge to the path of wisdom, and that is yoga, yoga of wisdom, and that is oneness. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita diskrite tasmad yogaya jujasva yogaha karmasu kausalam. Again and again, Lord Krishna gives definitions, different definitions from different angle of vision, and he is going on explaining what is called yoga, what is that state of oneness. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhed sukrita duskrite. When you have taken refuge to the path of wisdom or the karma yoga, yoga, the goal, having a goal of equanimity, that is called path of wisdom, and there, because you are beyond these pairs of opposites, so you can easily abandon the idea of sukrita and diskrita, good and bad actions, evil actions and meritorious actions. All these both, they lead you to bondage only. If you have the idea of fruits of your action. Tasmat yogaya yujyasva. Now, when you have gone beyond these pairs of opposites, now if you are fighting, it is only for fight's sake. Having no desire to have its fruits. Tasmat yogaya yujyasva. Yogaha karmasu kausalam. Yoga is known as the skill of action. What is the skill? To renounce the fruits of actions and to take refuge to oneness, the evenness of mind. That is called skill. That is called cleverness. That is called the pure intellect. He has already explained us the purity, practice purity of intellect and be established in sattva, sattvastha kuru karmani. Do everything with a pure intellect. That means without the expectation of the fruits of your actions. That is the purity. Purity means, don't forget, oneness. Purity, we don't think. We understand in different ways what is called purity. But purity means oneness. When you are established in sattva and your mind is purified, that means you are bound to plunge into that evenness of mind. There is no more mind, there is no more intellect, and absolute peace, silence and equilibrium. That is beyond all these bondage of the world of birth and death. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita diskrite tasmad yogaya yujasya yogaha karmasu kausalam. Yoga is skill of action, endowed with wisdom, evenness of mind. One casts off in this life both good and evil deeds. Therefore, devote yourself to yoga. Yoga is skill in action. Work performed with the motive towards the fruits only can bind a man. It will bring the fruits, and the performer of the actions will have to take birth again in this world of mortal world to enjoy them, the results. If work is performed with evenness of mind, the yoga of wisdom, united to pure buddhi, intelligence or reasoning with the mind resting in the Lord. Your reason doesn't work. Your intellect has been one-pointed, and you rest in the Lord absolute. It will not bind him, it will not bring any fruit. It is no work at all. Work, action will have reaction. So here you have gone beyond action and reaction, cause and effect. So, the yogi of poet reason attributes all action to the divine actor within himself in the heart of hearts. We have discussed what is heart. Heart is the sky of heart, or the sky of awareness, where there is no imbalanced state. It is complete balanced state, and that is called the sky of awareness, sky of the heart. And who is there? Oneness is there, that is God. So, you will not acquire any good or evil results of your actions. Actions are done for action's sake, not for the result's sake. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandhar vinirmuttaha padam gacchantyanāmayam. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha. The great people, the people of wisdom, the wise, possessed of knowledge, having abandoned the fruits of their actions, phalam tyaktva, abandoning the results of his actions, and being freed from the fetters of birth, go to the place which is beyond all evils. Padam gachanti anamayam, which is beyond evilness. That means there is no evil, there is no good. It is beyond both the good and bad. That means it is beyond the state of pairs of opposite, dualism or the relativity. Clinging to the fruits of actions is the cause of rebirth. We have discussed it in a elaborate way, how when there is movement in the brain cells by the momentum given by the prana, throbbing in the brains, the vibrations start. That is, those vibrations are called thought waves. And that is how the mind is working. It is an unsteady state of changing phenomena which is called mind. So that is also called nature, the power, the energy. Prana also is energy. One energy changes into the other energy. That is the changing phenomena. One gets transformed into the other. The names change, the actions change, but it goes on changing. In this way, when the mind works, so the thought waves, they go out of the body by the gateways of the senses, and they accumulate, they get associated with the sense objects and accumulate the informations, and they are just like the seeds, they have to multiply. That is the nature. So you have to have some instrument, body as an instrument to enjoy those results. So can you imagine how many baths, innumerable baths you have to take to enjoy those results? There is no end to it. Every moment it grows in chain reaction, in geometric ratio. So there is no way out. The only way is not to do anything, not to perform any actions, and not to have the result of it as enjoyer. So when there is no motive, you do the work for work's sake, as it is presents itself before you. Yesterday we heard the story of the king. What is duty? Duty is at present, and whatever is the demand of these situations and time and conditions, that is to be fulfilled without expectation. So you are not at all a doer. The nature does everything. Nature does the actions, and nature will take care of the result. Why you are worried? You have no ego of doership, so you will not enjoy anything. That is called non-action. That is the skill. That is the skill. The yoga teaches us that skill. how to perform your actions, whatever comes by the way, and how not to be attached to it, not to enjoy the results of it, and go beyond these pairs of opposites. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi. Phalam tyaktva manishinaha. Janma bandha vinirmuktaha. Padam gacchantyanāmayam. The people who possessed of knowledge, having abandoned the fruits of their actions, and being freed from the fetters of birth, go to the place which is beyond all these evils. That also says pairs of opposites. Evil means good also. Clinging to the fruits of actions is the cause of rebirth. Man takes a body to enjoy them. If anyone performs actions for the sake of God, in fulfillment of his purpose, without desire for the fruits, he is released from the bonds of birth and attains to the blissful state of the immortal abode, that is the abode of God. If you take refuge under God, then God will take you to his abode. Abode of God means absolute steadiness. Don't forget it. Sages who possess evenness of mind abandon the fruits of their actions and thus escape from good and bad actions. They go beyond it. Buddhi, referred to in the 3 verses 49, 50 and 51. We are discussing 51 stanza, and before it, in the 2 other stanzas also, buddhi is taken into consideration. What is buddhi? Intellect. Ordinarily it is intellect. But it is the wisdom of the Sankhyas. Buddhi means the wisdom. And that is knowledge of the self. Buddhi is not ordinary intellect as we understand. Intellect means the decisive power of the changing mind. Because mind is always changing, so it cannot decide anything. And the aspect of the same mind which decides things, it becomes little steady, and then only two doubtful thoughts, they get decision one thought. That's how buddhi works. Buddhi means intelligence. And ordinarily we understand it. But here buddhi is referred to the wisdom, means pure intellect, sattvastha intellect. Intellect which is purified and established in sattva. That is the highest buddhi. The moment I say student, what do you think of it? Student may be studying in fast form. in the 10th form, in graduation or in post-graduation. Everybody is a student. So in this way, the words are used in different sense, in different reference, different contexts. We have to understand for in what context the word is used. The knowledge of the self or Atma-jnana which dawns when the mind is purified by karma yoga. Karma yoga, we shall discuss it afterwards. Now it is coming to our point of discussion, karma yoga. Karma yoga, just karma is ordinary actions doing with the expectation of results, that is karma. But karma yoga, when it becomes yoga, that means skill. So you have to do action which turns into non-action. You have to change it. That is how skill is yoga. That means you have to be clever enough to give up the attachment to the actions. That means not having any motive for the results of your actions. So though you do the actions without any expectation, then you are taken as non-doer. So your ego doesn't work there. And that there your intellect gets purified and gets one-pointed. And when we desire for the fruits, it has to go on multiplying and become restless. That is called ordinary actions. And karma yoga is non-doership, having no ego of doership, and then you are not enjoyer of the fruits, and then you have gone beyond action and reaction. This is how the karma yoga declares. So now, Lord Krishna says, Yada te moha kalilam buddhiri vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam srutavyasa srutasya cha. Previously we have discussed a little on Vedas. Vedas always give both the knowledge of both the sides. So, some people prefer to karma kand. Karma kand means doing actions with desires to have results of it. So they are little-minded fellows. They always go for enjoyment which ends in pain also, because all these enjoyment or suffering both have end. It cannot be continued for eternity. So when the pleasure ends, then pain starts. When the pain ends, then pleasure starts. This is how it is known as ever-changing or transitory process of birth and death, the cycle of world. You must understand what is the process and how you are entangled in the process. So he gives clarity. Yada te mohokalilam buddhiri vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam srutavyasa srutasya cha. When the intellect crosses beyond the mire of delusion, action and inaction, or good and bad actions, when you go beyond it, then thou shalt attain to indifference as to what has been hard and what has yet to be hard about the Vedas. Vedas, we have heard everything in the Vedas. So you have to decide what to take and what to give up. Wherever you go, you use your choice, isn't it? When you go to the market, what do? To purchase something, you go on choosing, go on bargaining. Everywhere in the life, when you go for eating, you choose what do you like. You don't like the juice of bitter gourd, isn't it? You like the rasgullas, sweet ones. So everywhere we use our choice. Now, Vedas have got both the things. When you go to market, some shop to purchase something, they have all kinds of your needs. First class, second class, third class, isn't it? Something very costly, something just affordable, something is very cheap, and that will last very less time. It is not long lasting. If you pay heavily, you may get some best ones. Isn't it? Always use your choice. So now, in Vedic knowledge also, you have to use your choice. You have the freedom. Everything is there in the Vedas. So, I was talking of Tantra Yoga, isn't it? In Yoga Vasishtha class. Tantra also has two types. Tantra means shortcut way to achieve something. And both way, good and bad. Tantra gives you to overcome hunger and thirst also. So it will help you to sit for a long time in meditation. If you overcome hunger and thirst, but people don't use for it. They use for inferior motives, bad motives. So as you can use money you have, you can use it both ways for good purpose. You can save somebody's life, and you can kill also by spending money. Same power can be used both ways. Same knowledge can be used both ways. Similarly, we have to see Vedas, what to choose from the Vedic knowledge. What kind of knowledge you like. That shows your quality. Whether you are established in sattva or tamas or rajas. That's why he has warned us again and again, be established in sattva and find out the sattvic part of the Vedas, that is part of wisdom and take refuge to the Buddhi Yoga, path of wisdom. And if you can do so, what happens? Tada gatansi nirvedam srutabhyasa sutasya. He says, when the intellect crosses beyond the mire of delusion, moha kalilam, yada buddhirvyati tarishyati, when you go beyond the delusive world or intellect or your life, you are not able to decide anything. At that time when you take refuge to the path of wisdom, you are able to decide something. Now you will attain the indifference as to what has been heard and what has yet to be heard from the Vedas. From the Vedas, tadagantasi nirvedam. You will overlook the injunctions given by the Vedas because you have gone beyond it. Gone beyond good and bad. Understood now? Vedas are not rejected here. They are useful for others, not for you, who is established in sattva and decided firmly that he is not going to have actions and reactions. He is beyond all this. His mind is one point, and now he enters into samadhi and attains the highest. He doesn't want to plunge into this terrific cycle of world birth and death. Unending. The maya of delusion is identification of the self with the not self. Where we are confused, how we are deluded, not to be able to decide what is right, what is wrong, that is the delusion. Inability to decide what is right and what is wrong. It is just like entering into the sugarcane field and searching for a good one. All the sugarcanes are better than each other. There is a saying, entering into the sugarcane, अरे गन्ना के खेती में घुस गया तो कौन सा गन्ना अच्छा है? Which sugarcane is better than the other? Everything looks better. So go on madly searching for the better one. And they say also, chasing the wild goose. There is no wild goose anywhere seen, and you are chasing for it. Chasing the wild goose. It is useless effort. Going behind the water source, water spring in the desert, mirage. Similarly, when we are not able to decide what is good and bad, then only all these doubts arise. And in the Vedas both are given. So now you are deluded what is to be chosen and what is to be rejected. And that is what leads you to the absolute self and what leads you to non-self. Non-self means the material enjoyments, mundane enjoyments, sense enjoyments, they are not permanent. The permanency or the continuity or the constancy or the equilibrium is known as the highest state of the absolute. So you have to choose what is self, what is non-self. That is by the superior intellect. That is called discrimination. Discrimination. What is permanent, what is impermanent, what is perishable, what is not. That is decided by the purified intellect, and that is known as discriminative power. And what he says, the senses of discrimination between the self and non-self is confounded by the mire of delusion, and the mind runs towards the sensual objects, and the body is taken as the pure self. We always think, दिल गलती कर बैठा है, गलती कर बैठा है दिल. When you have done a mistake in the very beginning itself, so all what you do, it is only mistakes. So once you have taken the non-self as the self, wrongly, you have done a mistake accepting this body as the self. I am the body, I am the self, I am the body. So body is perishable. You have done a mistake here. And whatever is given in the Vedas is used for the body's sake, wrongly. So now he says, all these, whatever you will attain to indifference regarding this, okay. He says, when you attain purity of mind, you will attain to indifference regarding the things hard and yet to be heard from the Vedas. Whatever we have heard till now are the injunctions of the scriptures or Vedas. We are bewildered, we are deluded, what to do, what not to do. Either anybody who has not heard the rules and regulations of life, codes of conduct, who doesn't know it? But we are bewildered. We are not able to decide what is good and what is bad. Similarly, we have heard so many things. Everything is a kind of knowledge only, and yet we are not conformed what is right, what is wrong. And yet we have to hear so many things in the future. That is what I was explaining. We have two kinds of knowledge. One is ever increasing, ever growing. That is informative knowledge. We have heard, we have got so much information about this world. It is endless. It is ever growing. So, you have to decide something. That is the only way to take refuge under the path of wisdom, purity and oneness, and that is called samadhi. Then only your intellect will be steady, and then you can decide everything. And when they will repeat to you to be of no use, when you have heard everything, so much thing you have heard, so much knowledge you have, but that is useless. In Yoga Varsity class today we were discussing, your knowledge is good for nothing. It is a dustbin, garbage of the dustbin, good for nothing. You have to empty it, you have to reject it. And yet, in the course of time, so much such garbage you will accumulate. That also you have to give up. That means you have heard many things about on the Vedas, and you will hear also so many things. Everything is good for nothing. Why? Because everything is under the pairs of opposites, the work of Maya, delusion. It brings us confusion only, no decision. So the only way to purify the mind, be established on sattva, and to take refuge to the highest oneness, that is God, that is the path of wisdom. And then only you will go beyond Vedas also. Nirvedam. You can go beyond Vedas. And I give you different examples. When you have used your vehicle, it is useful till then, as long as it serves your purpose. And when you have used it, keep it outside the gate. Don't bring inside the room. And I say jocularly, use and throw. Use and throw. It is useful for some time, not all the time. So tomorrow we shall see further. Trutivi pratipanna te yada sthasyasi nischala samadhavachalo buddhi tada yogam avapsasi. When are you going to attain that state of yoga, union? We shall see tomorrow. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Mata ki jai. Hari Om. Thank you.